And we're back after a long hiatus. Well, I put up some videos on YouTube recently, and I re-uploaded the ones that I had put on private before, but they're all related to the Cultivation and Manipulation book by yours truly, Adrian Bolio. And I wanted to put these videos back up because I want to market myself better. I want to get the books out on Amazon. I want people to read and buy and enjoy and learn something about themselves. And I have to say that with all the controversy behind this book, because they're like, someone said like, this is not a Qigong book. So I put a disclaimer up and I emphasize that it's not a Qigong book. So to tell you what it really is, you know that DMT Meditation book I have up that has, pretty good ratings? Well, this one's basically that and more. It's got twice the amount of content, and it has more than just the Kundalini meditation to get your DMT. It also includes healing, includes more breath work, includes the chi flow, so emphasis on chi detection, and then we get into thought forms using that for the magic that human beings have. So why do we do this? It's because we have these abilities. We're not taught these abilities. They don't want us to teach us these abilities. But to give it in hindsight, if we can think of something and we can come up with an idea of this thought process and we can get it down on paper, we can write it or read it or have a blueprint of it, then we can execute it. We can actually make it happen. We can take the things that we want for ourselves and manifest them in reality. So that's what also the end of the book also comes down to with biokinesis and thought forms into heat and fire and all that other jazz. So that is why I was pumping this book on YouTube, because I really think that this book does a better job than the DMT Meditation book, although the DMT Meditation book has the thought, it's DMT. Everyone's like, ooh, I gotta get on the DMT train. But seriously folks, if you want the complete package, just get this one. Don't bother with the other one, or just keep buying it. It's the same price. What I wanted to do with this video was to talk about something that is underselling on Amazon, that I've actually put a lot more effort and soul into it, and something that I've been working on for at least 5-6 years, the concept behind this book series that I wanted to do. And it's just JAIR, but this one is called JAIR Underground. And I tried putting a little bit more effort into the cover. I put more effort into the story. I tried coming up with the idea after the main book that I'm working on right now. So the main book I'm working on right now is called JAIR Expo. But this one, the JAIR Underground, in the timeline sequence comes after that. But I wrote it first because it was, to me, a good idea of trying to get out the idea of the villain. Trying to explain how time has transformed something that I've had in my mind and has turned into something that comes from the future. I don't know why it's underperforming, besides the fact that it's fiction. It doesn't have DMT in the title, but it's something personal, it's something that I've been working on, it's something that I want to share with you. So in the next couple of days, 2 weeks or so, I guess I'll be putting out more videos like this Chi Cultivation book, but where I read the book as I go through pages, and I'll stop in certain places and I'll discuss the thought process of what went into that. And there's some things I don't want to spoil because it has to be for the book itself, and it has to be shown in the timeline of the first book, which I'm reading right now. Yeah. So the one I'm writing right now, I'm not trying to make it fast. I'm not trying to take it in the direction of where it's complete story one after another. I wanted to do the book where it flows and it keeps going and going and going. And I thought to myself, if I just put what I really want to write down and what I really want to show in passion, then I wouldn't be worrying about page counts. For some reason when I was starting this book, I was worried about page count. This book I didn't worry about page count so much, but it turned out that it was very short. There wasn't really much to write about because it was a short story, in my opinion. It was supposed to be a cliffhanger. It wasn't supposed to be something that you could expect much out of it, but a story to want more. And I wanted to leave it a cliffhanger so you thought, oh, maybe there's more to the JAIR Underground. Maybe there's more to the story that comes after that. And I could put a JAIR Underground Part 2 out in the works if I wanted to, but I wanted the cliffhanger to specifically be about the JAIR Expo, which is the first book. And the funny thing is there's an advertisement that came out when I was putting these ideas down and creating the roadmap and all the outline, the beats of the book, and it's called PAL. It's something about, it's an animated film about a family against the robots, and I remember seeing it in the theaters as a trailer. And there is a section of the trailer in which a guy comes out on stage and he's like, hey, here is your new pal, here's your new iPhone friend that walks and talks and does all these things. And that's basically straight out of the idea that I had in my mind. I'm like, are these guys copying what I was thinking, or did they come up with it separately? Why? This is so weird that we both have the same ideas. But then at the same time, they're different in terms of what was created and what was the purpose of it, because in the trailer it seems that the technology gets out of hand and starts taking over people's lives in the response of the robot taking on the conscience of the company. And while that is similar to the JAIR Underground, which I wrote before even the trailer, the concept kind of reminded me a lot of what I wanted to do. So it was trying to discrepancy and say, hey, you know, like I think this is a valid form that we both can share the same ideas, but there's a little bit different. So in the JAIR Expo, the robot servant is presented to the people. It's presented at a fair that people can decide if they want to have one or not. But it's not presented in a way that it's going to be the friend that helps you without all these things. Because once you understand the backstory behind the robot put out in front, it's not about just being a servant. The robot has to be a driving force for the military, has to be something that keeps the company's motto and its dealings with its AI system, how it keeps moving forward. So I have to be careful about what I say also, because that also could be with spoils. So the JAIR Underground book specifically has to do in the future of the timeline of 4 individuals that go inside the underground tunnel, which is based off the DUMBs, the deep underground military bases, and they discover a factory floor for the JAIR Tech facility. And the story continues after that. But as I said, if you want to support the book, you can buy it on Amazon, or you can follow along with me when I put out the videos in the future. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys next time.